I can't think of another candidate that hit as many balls out of the park as she did last night.
Every single one.
Regardless of what you think of her ideology,
oh, yeah. No, I don't agree with
her answers, her past, her future. The performance on the stage last night, I thought, was about as good as I've seen.
There's no doubt about that. It was a 3-hour debate with 11 people on the stage, and almost all of them, with the exception of Carly Fiorina, because of her specificity and her strength in delivering what she said, she was one of the few who did not fade slowly into the background, including Donald Trump, faded slowly into the background. Jeb Bush faded slowly into the background. Carly Fiorina, Chris Christie had a good night.
Yeah,
Marco Rubio was very specific and very strong on foreign policy. What was Ted Cruz doing there?
Oh, my Lord.
Well, again, that's the problem. That's another thing, too, Willie. When you have so many candidates, I mean, what do you do if you're Ted Cruz? What do you do if you're Scott Walker? What do you do if you're Mike Huckabee? What do you do if you're Rand Paul? And you've got 11 candidates up there already, and 50% of the questions go to one candidate. And it's stunning. If you want to do it based on percentages in the polls, which is a lousy way to do debates, because debates are supposed to be a leveling win, then ask questions of Ben Carson. I still don't know if Ben Carson knows policy or not.
Ben Carson was there, right?
Yeah, can you believe Ben Carson was there? Second in every poll. And they hardly go to him.
There were stretches, this is not exaggeration, of 30 minutes or more where you wouldn't hear from 1, 2, 3, 4 of the candidates, including at one point Donald Trump.
Trump went 40 minutes.
Trump went 40 minutes at one point without talking. So that's a problem. I don't know how you solve that exactly. You have 11 people. How do you get everyone involved? And then the people who haven't been heard from are trying to jump in, and that looks a little desperate and pathetic at some point. Trying to get in on the adult conversation.
But to that point, Carly got so much airtime because she did just that.
She did,
She jumped in on every exchange.
Yeah.
So I think it really, they left it up to the candidates to determine how much airtime they got, because whenever anyone's name was mentioned, they did get to jump in. I mean, it was a little more schoolyard brawly, and maybe that's why I liked it so much. Maybe that speaks
well, listen, I'm not saying it wasn't
deep in my soul, but I think that's why Carly shone so bright, because she was able to insert herself into